My name is Heather Kaiser. I am a sculpture major from Albuquerque, New Mexico. How I found IUP is a very interesting story. My first experience with Pennsylvania happened in 2017 when I was traveling here with a family with an organization called TAPS. It's Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. It's with Gold Star families. And we went to Old Bedford Village for a weekend, and I was there with a mother and her son, and we went there for the weekend. And there was a potter there who was a ceramics individual that teaches everybody about pottery, and he had offered me to come work with him for a little while if I was interested, because I was very interested in art, and I was doing some pottery with a veterans program back where I was living in Arlington at the time. So I started going out to Bedford Village on the weekends, 2.5-hour drive one way, to go work with him every weekend, and I became his apprentice for the entire summer of 2017. He went to IUP, so he was a very big advocate. At the time, I was accepted to UNC for social work, and while I was working with him, I had this big revelation that I really felt called to do art and not become a social worker. Not that I don't believe in it or that I didn't want to do it, just that I felt powerfully about doing art. So I told UNC that I wasn't going to be going there, and I applied to IUP, and I got in. And so in 2018, January, I started school. So I'm an Army veteran, and I got out of the Army in March of 2018. My transition was very intense. I moved away from where I was living, and I started school. I hadn't been in school for 10 years, 11 years, and that was a lot of changes all at once. But I had some very good professors that were very welcoming and just really strong individuals that welcomed me to IUP, and the community was very welcoming. So I didn't feel like an outsider when I got here. And I remember at one of the orientations somebody said, "At IUP, everybody knows your name." So I felt very safe and welcomed here. So when I got here, it just was an easier transition than I thought, and it being a small town was very nice too. So how I got involved with this project was last spring. Sean Derry, the professor of sculpture here at IUP, had approached me and said, "We have a public art project that needs to be finished, and we need somebody to help work on it and do all the coordination for it. Would you be interested, especially with your background?" Because I've been in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I said, of course, I would love to do it. And so we talked about it a little bit and came up with a plan to make it an internship so that I would be able to dedicate a significant amount of time to it, and started working on it in April of 2018, and from there we've just been working ever since. A lot of students have been involved with this project. It's been both military, non-military, it's been everybody. It's similar to the expression, "It takes a village to raise a child." It takes a village to raise a monument. There's no way that Sean or I could have done this alone. There have been a lot of hands on this monument. There have been many late nights where somebody needed to help somebody else screw something in place or do some extra welding, and we had more than enough people that were willing and wanting to help put something together. They knew it was a veterans monument. We've been talking nonstop about this veterans monument, and it was amazing. The groups, the people that we had that just wanted to support it and just say, "Hey, if you need a hand, you just let me know." And we had so many people that were willing to help, and a lot of people that weren't veterans. In fact, almost everybody that helped put it together is not a veteran.